Hi, I'm Megan Arusha from When Creativity Knocks, and we're actually knocking on your door about a very important subject today. I'm here with Brenda Pinnock.
Hi, Megan.
And I'm also here with Joanne Fink. How are you?
Good morning.
And these lovely ladies are here to talk to us about something that's happening right now that really affects artists, designers, photographers, and really the common individual. And we're talking about the Orphan Works bill. And this is something that has been introduced to both the House and Senate, correct?
Yes. Correct.
But no artists and designers have really been given the opportunity to come and educate and sort of testify and talk about how this is really going to affect all of these folks. And so why don't you tell us today, Joanne, a little bit about, just in plain and in simple terms, because we all know that I can't read that fancy language, what is this bill about?
Basically, these bills, if they pass, will allow anyone to use a piece of art, music, or literature for any purpose if they cannot trace the copyright holder. And the problem from the visual arts industries is there is no method in existence that will allow us to trace a copyright holder. So that if you see a picture that you like and you want to make a mug out of it, or a t-shirt, or anything, and you do a diligent search, you can search and search and search, but since there's no way realistically to find it, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's like a needle in a haystack. You're not ever going to find that.
And then you're allowed to use it.
Right.
And the problem with this is Brenda and I make our living by developing art, and we license our art to different companies. And we promise the companies that we license our art to an exclusive contract.
Right.
And we need to make sure that our copyrights are protected.
Really, and this bill jeopardizes that. And this is like $1 billion industry with this copywriting, and especially for artists, this is a huge deal. I mean, this is what you do, right?
This is our livelihoods, and us and many, many other artists work in the art licensing industry.
And I think what you said earlier, we need a chance to educate Congress.
Yes.
Right.
Nobody from the craft industry or the art licensing industry has had an opportunity to share our concerns with the bills. And the way they are written right now will devastate our industries.
Right. And really, we need a chance to educate the viewers at home and everyone, so that we really bring some attention to this topic, because this is very important. And Joanne, you mentioned pictures on mugs, and we talked earlier, this could be anybody's picture, right?
It is, Megan. It's not just art, but it's home photography. So many people are enjoying all the benefits of the new technology, of the wonderful cameras and photographic equipment, and they're posting their images online on many different photo viewing websites. And those images are in danger because without copyright protection, those images could be used for anything that someone wants to use them for, whether it's advertising or exploitation in even worse ways. So we're talking children,
and
pictures
if you're
of your
hijack
children.
my picture, I better get paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
In thinking about the scrapbooking industry in particular, and rubber stamping in the crafting industry, that's especially problematic because of the nature of the product that our art is applied on.
Right.
It can't possibly have our copyright information on it.
Right.
For the last 30 years, we have all enjoyed passive copyright protection, so that when I create a piece of art, I don't need to sign it, I don't need to register it with the Copyright Office, I don't need to put a copyright symbol on it. It's mine. Copyright protection is inherent in the creation of the art. If this legislation passes, that won't be true anymore. You will need to take active steps to protect your art. And as I said earlier, there's no method right now that allows us to do that. And one of the problems with the bill is it suggests the implementation of a visually searchable database, but the technology doesn't exist.
Right.
And yet the bill is slated to start, the Senate version, January 1st, 2011, and the House version, January 1st, 2013, or the earlier of that date or the implementation of these searchable visible databases. And since technology for that is 5 to 10 years out, if the bills pass, it will mean that for a period of time...
There's no technology to back it up.
Right.
And that's great. And really, they're fast tracking this bill to get it going, and there's not enough time being provided for the word to get out and for folks to know really what's going on, and for us to get in there and say, no, you can't take my work without giving me credit.
Right. And what we found when we went to Washington was that many, if not most, of the senators and congressmen really weren't informed about this bill. They had been told artists love this bill, that we appreciate it, and it's not true. We had not had our voices heard, and so we had the opportunity to show them nuts and bolts of how the art licensing business works, with actual visuals and examples of our product. And when we did so, they were alarmed, and they were beginning to see, but we need more people helping to educate them.
Right. And I mean, I think that's what I'm having you ladies do today, is we're trying to educate more people as well, the nuts and bolts of this bill, because really a lot of people need to know how it's going to affect them and really what all it is that this bill is going to do. And so for the average folks at home, what can they do to help this from passing, essentially?
Sure. There is a website that appears at the bottom of your screen, www.owOH.org. And if you go to the website, there's a lot of different information that you can download and really get an understanding of the impact this legislation will have. On the website, if you click on the section that says what you can do to help, there's a list. Basically, we need you to reach out to your congressional representative, especially if they are on the Judiciary Committee. Right now, Congress goes on summer recess August 8th. Between now and then, they are trying to get the bill passed, and we are trying to educate every member of the Judiciary Committee as to why this bill is bad for all visual arts industries. We need your help to do that. If you can go to the website, find out who's on the House Judiciary Committee. There's a list in the download section. And then go to the CapWiz site to email your congressman. If you put in your zip code, it will bring up the name of your congressman. If he's not on the Judiciary Committee, please use the form letter, send your thoughts about opposing the bill to your congressman. If your congressman happens to be on the Judiciary Committee, we'd also like you to pick up the phone and call the office. Ask to speak with the staff member who advises on this legislation, and tell them that it is really essential that the craft industry and the art licensing industry and the medical illustrators and all the people who this legislation will affect have an opportunity to share their thoughts and help to craft a better bill. And what you're asking is that the legislation gets slowed down until our voices can be heard. It is essential that we reach out to every member of the House Judiciary Committee, and you can do that by faxing, you can do that by calling, you can do that by emailing. We have put together a coalition of art organizations and music organizations that are united in their opposition to these bills, both the House and the Senate bill. There's over 82 groups. You can find the list on the website. Something else that you can do that would be helpful is if you belong to an organization whose members would be hurt by these bills, ask if they'd like to participate and have their name listed. If you have any clients who license your artwork or who have a lot of intellectual property of their own, ask them to help protect their copyrights and their company's ability to bring unique designs that won't be infringed upon to market, and ask them to write to their legislators. Basically, spread the word. Very few people are familiar with this legislation, and it will affect all of us. It's everybody's fight, and whatever you can do to contact Congress and spread the word to your family, friends, clients, etc., would be greatly appreciated.
Joanne, thank you. That's great. Anything you want to say? Any last?
She said it perfectly. Joanne, thank you. Well said.
So, make sure that the art stays where it belongs and do your part. And ladies, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Megan.